Hey, good morning, everyone. Hey, Con. Thank you, buddy. Welcome to week 28 of Project Houston 245. Sunday morning, so it's the end of the week and I'm about to go do my long run. So like I said earlier in this training series, I'm not going to be taking you on all of the training runs I do because with it being the fall and with there being less light in the day and me having to run before work, most of my runs are in the dark, so I can't really film them anyway. This week, though, I'll just kind of tell you how my week has gone so far. It's not been a very exciting week. It's been a building week. Mostly easy mileage. Monday was about 8 miles of very easy running because I had 2 races last weekend, and I did that in the New Balance Rebel V4. On Tuesday, I did do a workout, but it was 30-second intervals. 24 by 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, and that was at a more of a VO2 max or faster pace, and that was almost kind of like extended strides to really keep working the neuromuscular conditioning, but also to introduce some of that VO2 max in. I'm in the base phase still, so doing a lot of base mileage, but then a lot of really short really high-end stuff to build strength for some of the longer intervals later in the plan. What you looking at, Con? Wednesday was kind of a recovery day, and I was wearing the 361 degrees Elios that day, which is a good all-round shoe. Thursday had more of a moderate long run with a bunch of friends, and I wore the Topo Spectre 2 because I wasn't sure whether we were going to be running easy or running a little bit more steady or quickly. We ended up running nice and easy that day. Friday was really just another base day that was solo. And what did I wear on Friday? Oh yeah, I wore the HOU245 Mach 6, which felt good, and I even added a couple of strides at the end of that run. Saturday was a rest day, and hey, Con. Now I'm going to do my long run. It's going to be a hilly 20 miles with some mixed surfaces in there. This is going to be a fairly high volume week for this early in the plan, but that's because I have yet another race coming up next week, so I'm trying to kind of front load a lot of my volume. All right, see you on the run. Yep. All right, here on the Sunday long run, I'm doing 20 miles today. I'm about 9 miles in. I'm gonna stop for water real soon. You can tell the fall weather has come because Derek's wearing gloves and ear warmers.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Good boy.
Like I said, this is a build week because there's a race next week. Still in the base phase. If you're not familiar with the triphasic model, there's a base phase, then a support training phase, and then a specific phase. This is becoming really popular mainly because of Andrew Snow's latest book, Run Elite, but it's not a novel concept. Jack Daniels, Dr. Jack Daniels, has a similar philosophy where during the early stages you're building base but working in some of those fast R reps until you get to the more specific stuff later on. So in a couple weeks we'll get into some support training where we're doing a little bit more lactate threshold stuff and VO2 max specific stuff. A lot of this is building the foundation. Hey Oscar. This is Con's buddy.
How is it?
Say hi to the camera, Sam.
Hey! Oscar, you're on TV. Chair, and you're like, I don't want doubles.
So we are tracking the Chicago Marathon as we're running. I got my phone on me, and Eric Strong just crossed the start line with Anthony, who you see on the channel, as his guide. So we'll be tracking their progress throughout the day. Got some nice soft surface here. So we're just going to talk about the base phase a little bit more. John and I are just talking about it a little, because the base phase, out of all of the phases, is the least sexy of the phases. You're building mileage, and the workouts have very little volume. We've been doing a lot of 8-second hill sprints, 15-second strides. The longest duration of any rep we've been doing is 30 seconds, half-minuters, but very high intensity, very focused on building those neuromuscular connections and building muscle strength to lay the foundation for those longer reps. And both John and I were talking about this early in the plan. Been out here for a couple hours already, feeling strong as hell. Just like everything is clicking, and kind of geared up for in a couple weeks to start some of those more prolonged high intensity efforts, VO2 max efforts. How are you feeling, John?
Feel great. Probably the best I've felt in years. Certainly in phase one, building base, and mostly the strength adaptations, though. I feel like my recovery is coming along a lot quicker than it has in the past with this kind of volume. We're still, 14 weeks out
From today.
and I'm steadily in the 50-mile, mid-50s at this point, just slowly building and climbing. And I'd never done a base phase without longer intervals, just building the strength off of the shorter stuff. And I wasn't really skeptical because I trust my coach, but it was very new. And also I think it takes some of the mental grind out, because you're not just crushing intervals for 20 weeks, getting mentally and physically kind of burnt out. I feel really sharp and super strong right now, and I'm just hoping I can keep it up the next 14 weeks.
Sounds good. Next week, we're gonna start working in a little bit of marathon pace to get a taste of it within some of those neuromuscular intervals. All right, 20 miles done at just about an 8-minute pace. Nice and aerobic. It is a beautiful day for a run. This is one of my favorite runs I've had this season so far. But yeah, that caps off a 70-mile week, which is pretty good for the base phase. Just gonna do a little shoe talk here to talk about how the week has gone. Monday's easy run was in the New Balance Rebel V4, which is great to run easy in, and it's also, if you don't want anything heavy on your foot, this is nice and accommodating. Tuesday, when I did the 30-second intervals, the 24 by half minute on, half minute off, that was in the New Balance Pacer V2, which I am coming to find out is going to be better as a workout shoe and not really something I think I would reach for in a race setting, unless it was definitely a B race. And then Wednesday, another easy day after a workout where I just wanted something soft and accommodating on my feet. The 361 degrees Elios was my choice for that day. Thursday, when I was doing a slightly longer base run with friends, I was in the Topo Athletic Spectre 2, which is coming to be one of my favorite training shoes for all around, for fast, for slow, or when I don't know what I'm going to do. Friday, another base day, not quite as long on foot, but with some strides added, was with the HOU245 Mach 6. And then today, spending 2.5 hours on the roads and trails. It was in the Mizuno Neo Vista, which is nice and soft and comfortable. So the Neo Vista is probably my favorite shoe for comfort and for long, easy miles, for LSD, long, slow distance. As I go deeper into the plan, I might be using this more as a recovery shoe and less for long runs, because as we get out of the base phase and into the support phase and definitely the specific phase, many of the long runs are going to have some targeted paces that I'm going to need to hit. And while this shoe can handle those paces, it definitely excels at the easy miles, and I'll probably be looking for more of like a companion trainer, like an Endorphin Speed 4 or something like that, or even a racing shoe when I do some of those specific pace long runs. So that's my shoe talk. Thanks for tuning in to day 28 of Project Houston 245. Don't forget to hit the LSD, which means like, subscribe, share the video if you want, and ding the bell for notifications. Thanks guys, and I'll see you on the next run. Tune in next week for a recap of the Bull City Running Festival half marathon, and I should be using the On CloudBoom Strike for that one.